everyone, this is Design Machine Games. This is Jason, Rachel's behind the camera.
Hey.
And we're just showing you one of the coffee shop idea games that we're going to be putting out every Friday. So our idea is that we want to make some games that you can just play at a coffee shop with a few things you have on hand. So you just have paper, a couple pens, and some pennies on hand at a coffee shop, and you can play this game. So the idea of this game is that you just have a simple tic-tac-toe type of board. We did circles here, and then you want to lay it out with A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 grid so that you can identify one location on the board. So the way it works is we have some shiny pennies and some dull pennies, and those are the two opposing teams. Rachel's the shiny pennies, I'm the dull pennies. And what you're trying to do is stack 3 of your pennies on your opponent's pennies. So I would win if I had it like that. And she could even have hers stacked on top of mine and I would still win, just as long as I get 3 stacked. Now a few of the rules are you can only move 2 ways by jumping or sliding. So jumping is hopping from one place to another. You do that either to jump off of another person's or onto another person's. So if this penny is on here, it can only jump off. If it's trying to go from here to here, it can only jump onto. Now, when this penny is sandwiched underneath, it can only slide out from under onto an open spot. It couldn't slide out this way or this way because there's not an opening on the bottom. So that's the slide action. So we'll be programming 3 moves each round before we even take them. Programming 3 moves each that we'll do in succession. So for instance, on one round, Rachel would do her first move, I'd do my first move, second move, third move. And then we would program new rounds and I would start and I'd do my first move and she'd do her first move. But you want to program them all in for a phase beforehand. Another thing is you can't have more than 2 stacked. You can't have 3 stacked or have 1 sandwich like that. You can only do
triple stacking.
Yep, only 2 stacked high. You can stack your own on top of your own for whatever reason you want to do that. If you want to use it to block somebody in so that they couldn't get out, you can certainly do that. And that's about it for the rules. So we're going to program our first 3 moves. So, for instance, the way that you program is Rachel could say, A1 jumps to A2, and she'll use a little jump arrow for that. Or she could say B1 slides to B2 and use a straight arrow for that. So that's the way that you can write it down. And Rachel's going to be going first on the first round, so she'll want to take that into consideration.
You look really intense there.
Yeah, planning really well.
I'm not peeking. I'm just going to move the camera over.
So that's what my moves are.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do it. Go ahead, Rachel. What's your first move? I'll move your pieces for you.
Alright, so my piece, I said A2 jumps to A3.
You don't have one on A2.
Oh, sorry, C2 to C3.
C2 jumps to C3. So she jumped on top of mine. Okay. My first action is B3 jumps to B2. Okay, your second action?
My second action is A1 slides to A2. So I cannot do that.
Yep, she was probably thinking I was going to jump onto
So that means it just gets canceled.
Yep, so my second action is C3 slides to B3. Because I was figuring by now you would probably have jumped on there. So C3 slides to B3. Haha.
Okay.
Your
My
third action?
third action was A2 jumps to A3, which is sloppy. I did not get there.
Yeah, that was assuming she was here already. So my third action is A2 slides to A1 because I thought she would have jumped on top of mine by now. So I can't do that either. Alright, we don't have any on top of each other's. Okay, plan your next phase of action.
And Jason's going first, so gotta think for that.
Yeah.
So ready over there?
Yeah, one moment.
Here, I'm gonna show off your stuff, Jason. Your coffee's in the way. Kind of glimpse there. Okay.
Let's see if any of these work. Okay, my first action is B2 jumps to B1. Your first action?
Totally knew you were gonna do that, so I said B1 slides to B2. Yeah.
Oh, shucks.
Saw that one coming.
My second action was A2 slides to B2, which can't happen because I was thinking it would be underneath hers. Your second action?
A1 jumps A2.
Ah, shoot.
Yeah, man.
My third action is B3 jumps to C3, and I got lucky there. Your third action?
My third action was C1 slides to C2.
Which happens.
Alright. Alright. So that's pretty much the gist of this game.
Yep, so you just play it until your 3 of your pennies are on top of 3 of the opponent's pennies. You can use pennies, you can use nickels, dimes, you know, we happen to have shiny and dull pennies, so that worked out pretty well. But all you need are 8 coins, 4 of each, and give it a shot. 3 on top of your opponent's wins.
Thanks, Jason.
Yep.